All right, here we go. Fingers crossed that it goes smoothly. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for standing by. This is the Contra adventure. Dartomic says, "I love Dr. Pepper." I'm a Dr. Pepper fan. I don't get it every time, but it is definitely always in the mix. All right, let me look at the. Can't believe this game also has a hard difficulty. Oh goodness. Bring the music up just a little. There we go. Alright, we're just gonna take it from the top. Probably gonna take me a moment to relearn what I knew before regarding like how the controls work and such. Looks like I can. It looks like it is compatible with the analog stick. I don't remember if that was a better or worse way to play though. The cord on the coming out of the controller is really bothering me. Figured I'd let the cutscene just play out since it's been a while since we've taken a look at the game. The text reminds me of Ghostbusters on the Commodore. Okay, I think I'm actually going to use the analog. Well, I don't know. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm not. I'm going to leave it turned on so I have the option if I feel like I need to switch to it. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out what the buttons do right now. That's weird. I think we're good. Health, please. The music is struggling. It hasn't given up, but it's not doing so well. It might have given up. Oh, there's a bomb. It's definitely been a long time since I've played this. Everything is wildly unfamiliar to me. Come on, run out of health. Goodness. No! Ah. My brain is still confused from the Contra 3 controllers. That's why I keep spamming my bomb, or wasting my bombs. Is the change weapons button is... now the bomb button. The music should come back, by the way, after we clear this level. It always has in the past, anyway. What a jump. What a jump. one up. I'm still pressing the bomb button. Every time I want to change my weapon, I'm pressing the bomb button first. I just don't have any bombs to waste. We can use this for a while. Yeah. There's a bomb to waste. I think that's it. I think that's stage 1. Hey, Flux, welcome in. I think the answers were closer here than elsewhere. You got a better setting, Linky, for me. I don't know what we're talking about, Flux. Good to see you, though. And I'm doing fine. I've had a really good day. We got out and about. We had a nice lunch at Olive Garden, and I struggled my way through Contra 3 just a little while ago. This game is presenting me with minimal bugs and crashes so far, so pretty much all is well. Hopefully your weekend's getting off to a good start. That green stuff is a one-hit kill. Good thing I wisely switched away from my laser to preserve it. Hello, Chompy's Paradise. Good to have you here. I hope you're doing well. Let's, try and keep our, comparisons a little more, suggestive than blunt if we're going in that direction. Why is everything suddenly a one-hit kill? I was spoiled by the earlier parts. Very well. Been a while. Been a little while. But I'm always happy to have you here when we can. I'm hardly doing any damage because I'm so afraid of the starfish. Ugh. Do continues start us at the beginning or the checkpoint? I don't remember. Is this PlayStation? I know very little of Contra post 16-bit. This is the Contra the Contra adventure on the PlayStation 1. It's not terrible. It's not great. It's probably, it's probably at least as good as Contra 3. It's probably at least as good as Contra 3, but keep in mind that's coming from someone who doesn't like Contra 3 a whole lot. I've noticed you can be pretty selective with what chats you read, Frownie. Is this a rated G kind of channel? So I keep things very, I try to keep things very, very G rated so far as what you're actually going to hear from me. I definitely have a very G-rated way of speaking. The chat has a little bit more freedom. Like I don't mind if people curse in the chat from time to time, and I don't mind if people make some suggestive humor from time to time. But I definitely don't want things to lean toward a really graphic or explicit sort of direction. So so yes, I don't necessarily read every chat message out loud. I read a lot of them out loud, but and I tend to reword a lot of them, and it's not always, sometimes it's just easier for me to paraphrase in sort of more my natural vernacular when I'm reading a sentence, and other times it is to clean it up a little bit. But that doesn't necessarily mean I disapprove of what is in the sentence 100% or anything like that. It's something, most people seem to pick up the feel for it. I don't know that it's easy to sort of explain. Exactly where the lines are, but if I feel we're creeping toward them, I tend to give people a charity and and a sort of friendly reminder to rein things back. Let's go ahead and exit the game so we can get that continue back. If it's going to restart us right at the beginning, there's no sense in burning that. Better or worse than Castlevania the Adventure? Well, Castlevania the Adventure is great. It's real hard to be better than that. I don't think I actually hit the button. I've only played the first two NES Contra games. So far, out of what I've played, Greg, you've played the best of them. The two NES Contra games are far and away my favorites of the 5 that I've played. Hey, Chozo Brain, welcome in. Spread gun. The spread gun is back to being awesome in this game. I don't like... Forgot. I feel like... I feel like I can jump over these, and maybe you can if you time it just right. But I thought I had to. That's why I kept challenging them. How you doing, Frownie, in chat? I'm doing well. I'm doing well. We had a good day. Same before. Jelly and I went sort of out and bounced around town earlier today, and we went for lunch at Olive Garden, and that's about it. I mean, even my more active days are kind of lazy days. So spirits are high, and the stream's been going really well. So I've got nothing to complain about. Oh, cool. So lots of elements of the environment have decided not to appear. So that's going to make for it's going to make for an interesting journey through through this section. Hopefully there are no pitfalls. Well, there's certainly pitfalls, because there wouldn't be this bar otherwise. This looks like a speedrunning trick. Yeah, I despawn the music and the platforming textures so that I can reduce lag. Ah. All right. Hey, we made it through. This Contra definitely suffers from 3D. Not a pretty syndrome. So many games look so much better as pure 2D versus the 3D mishmash. Yeah, this one is not such a graceful conversion to 3D, perhaps. Only have one life left. This is terrible. It's never looked this weird before. There's a lot of even the background is skipping. Oh, it is. You kind of don't know what's gonna happen. You don't know what's gonna happen. It could look like pretty much anything. I don't know why, but I still think 8-bit is the best for a certain style of action game. Castlevania, Mega Man, Contra, Ninja Gaiden, etc. are all best on the NES. Yeah. I like the 8-bit. I like 8-bit Castlevania. I like 8-bit Mega Man. I like 8-bit Contra. Ninja Gaiden, I've only played 8-bit. I do like Super Ghouls and Ghosts better than Ghosts and Goblins. But I like Ghosts and Goblins better than Ghouls and Ghosts. Hey, Zinshan, welcome in. Thank you for the raid, my friend. Pleasure to have you here. What were you doing tonight? Was it Final Fantasy X, or are you doing more of were you working on that one some more, or have you made it through? Our friend Zinshan streams a lot of retro games, a lot of retro RPGs. If you're a fan of those, help yourself out by clicking through and subscribing to Zinshan's channel, my friends. He's a super sweet guy. He's got a very laid-back stream. And he's much braver than I am to tackle these massive, massive adventure games. You beat X onto X2. All right, back to back. Final Fantasy X Marathon. This FMV, yeah. The cutscenes are a bit rough. Did you know Agent Frownie is the best retro streamer around? You're too kind, Zinshan. Far too kind. So how does have you played 10-2 before, or is this first playthrough for you? Of course you don't like Ghouls and Ghosts for Genesis. Way too easy. It is too easy. Try Ghouls and Ghosts for the TurboGrafx 16 sometime, though. Very similar to the Genesis version, but ridiculously difficult. Interesting. TurboGrafx is one that I don't really have a way to play yet. But I didn't even know it was on the TurboGrafx 16. I have it on the PlayStation 2. There's the port of the arcade game it's a more arcade accurate port, and it's on the Capcom Classics collection. I've played through that version. I don't really remember how it compares to the Genesis. It's absurd. I couldn't even get past level 1. Oh my goodness. I've never beaten X2, but I've gotten to the end. Not the end boss itself. All right. Well, I wish you good luck with this run. I know it's going to be exciting when you get this one checked off your to-do list. I like to, I always like to go back to a game that was an old nemesis that I never quite made it through, and take care of my unfinished business. I'm doing terribly. I feel like, as I remember, once I get past this stage, that I believe this stage is harder than the stages that follow it for a few levels. This isn't like the hardest stage or anything, but after this stage, this is one of the harder stages, and it gets easier for a while after this. Gotta grab some food. No worries, my friend. I hope you find something delicious. So sometimes the graphics hang in there, but the audio, the music pretty much always gives out. This stage here, so I really only had, like, major issues like this with 2 stages in the game so far. The first stage and another one pretty deep into the game. But I think there have only really ever been problems on 2 stages for us. So there's just a lot of ways that if I make it through level 1, things get a lot better for us in a lot of ways real quickly. No, don't hold that button. I really thought he was done with that attack. Hey, we got him. We got him. I don't think I get any more life back, though, for a while. I should probably just use the regular gun until I find some health. Health, please. Game health. No health for me. Health. It may not be as exciting, but I'm gonna say I prefer the game when I can see the platforms. Worst thing is to break that capsule open with the one up above the lava and have it fall into the fiery abyss. No! Oh, I lost my spread gun because I had too many weapons. It overwrote my spread gun. That's sad. Hey, Hrafnir, welcome in. Yeah, PlayStation 1 Contra. This is a game I've never beaten this one yet. We're still technically on the first playthrough. I've given it a try. We've tried it twice on the stream. Or maybe 3 times on the stream. That sounds more right. I had one run that made it all the way up to the last level. This is a game you can create save files. So, like, even though you have limited continues and lives, you kind of don't, because you can just reload your save. But my thing is I made it to the last level, but I only had 1 life. And so my save file was kind of useless. So I thought, well, I'm not going to try and struggle through the last stage with a single life. I'll just restart it. And so that's what we've done. The second time I tried to play through it, I had kind of a rough night and didn't get very far. So hopefully it's going to go better tonight. It hasn't been. Stage 1 has really been pummeling me. But we're doing a little better this time on this attempt. And I feel like I remember if I make it through stage 1, the next couple stages are pretty easy in comparison. So we'll have a little bit of a smoother time. It's just an issue of not being very familiar with the game, right? I kind of have to, I'm kind of relearning everything like I've never played it before every time I pick it up. Okay, this weapon is terrible for this. No, I jumped into the starfish. I changed my weapon right at the last second. I need to just take this slow. I'm trying to switch to stronger weapons to get out of here fast, and it's not doing me a good job at all. No! Why? I hate these starfish. This is such a good run, and it's become so trash. I'm dying every second. What's the point of a health bar? Why do I have a health bar when everything kills me in one hit? I don't want to play this anymore. Look at what it did to me. I didn't lose a single life, and then that enemy bled them all away in 10 seconds. I'm so mad. Gotta strengthen the muscle memory. That's my preferred way to approach it. Hey, old friend, welcome in. Thank you for the read, my friend. Welcome to your friends as well. You came in just in time to watch me be ground to powder. To be fair, pretty much any time you tune into the stream, you're going to see me being ground to powder. But I hope you're well tonight. Tell us what you were doing on your stream and how it went for you. Street Fighter 5 and Dragon Spirit. Dragon Spirit is an NES game, right? It's like a shooter. Dragon-based shmup. I have that one. I played it once when I first got it to test the cartridge. So I remember very, very vaguely what it's like, but I haven't spent much time with it. We're playing Contra on the PlayStation. This is the Contra Adventure. I'm having a lot of trouble just beating stage 1 tonight. It's really tearing me down. We're playing on a very on a game disc of very dubious quality. So visual and audio abnormalities are pretty much guaranteed. If you like things going wrong and games falling apart, you could very well be in luck. We've already had some massive amounts of the scenery not appearing. The music is consistently given out, and we had some very interesting textures and backgrounds happening just a short while ago. Contra 3 is on the Super NES. Contra and Super C are on the NES, and Contra 3 is on the Super NES. Then there's also Contra Hardcore on the Genesis. There's a couple of them on Game Boy, Operation C, and there's a version of Contra 3 on the Game Boy as well. And then there's two on the PlayStation. There's this one, and there's also one called Legacy of War. There's two on the PS2. They're called Neo Contra and Shattered Soldier. There's also one that was Contra Rebirth. It's a WiiWare game. There's a game called Contra Force on the NES game that is not a Contra game. That's a game called Arkhound that they retitled Contra Force for the West. There's a port of Contra 3 on the Game Boy Advance. There's a Contra spin-off. I think it's called Hardcore Uprising on the Xbox 360. I think I might have the details wrong on that one. And there's Contra Rogue Core on more modern stuff. I think you can get it on the Switch, among other things. I think that's every Contra game. Could be wrong. I'm likely wrong. I have a dream. I have a goal. I have a goal that I'm probably not going to reach for this year, but we're still going to try even if I don't reach my goal. But I have a goal of completing a first playthrough of every retro Contra game before April. And then in April, I want to have a stream where we do a Contra marathon where I try to beat them all in one stream. Even if I complete first playthroughs of all of them, I really doubt I'm going to be good enough at all of them to beat them in a single stream, but I'll try each of them. We'll do a stream where I try to beat each of them. And probably fail most of them. But I want to do it, since I noticed the Contra guys, the two guys from the first game, they're named after William Shakespeare. We're gonna do a Contra marathon on Shakespeare's birthday. In April. We're actually gonna do it on Shakespeare's baptismal day, because no one really knows what Shakespeare's birthday was. That wasn't recorded. But we know what day he was baptized, and that's close enough. We're gonna call it his birthday. So many Contras, yeah. So many. I think the aesthetics and design of Dragon Spirit are what attract me. It's not some spaceship or fighter jet, but a dragon, Ulfrin says. Yeah, that to me, that would speak to me more too. I'm usually not as much for the sci-fi aesthetic. I lean toward more of a fantasy aesthetic. That's one of the reasons. It's not fantasy, but the only shmup that I can think of that I really love is Gunsmoke. And I mean, it's just like a space shooter, except it has a cowboy aesthetic, and I like it quite a bit. Gunsmoke on the NES, fun game. Hardcore might be the one I prefer most. Haven't beaten any of them though. Yeah, I'm still waiting to try Hardcore. That's what, after I beat this one, I'm gonna put Hardcore on the schedule. Well, after I beat this, yeah, we're gonna schedule Hardcore some night after I beat this game. It's my next Contra game to do. I'll be honest, I generally cannot stand shmups like at all, but something about Dragon Spirit has me going back. Soundtrack definitely helps Dragon Spirit out, Zergling says. Sorry, I'm reading everything kind of out of order here. First three are the best, the others are just meh. Contra games? I love the first two. I like Operation C. I like Contra 3 and this game, but I don't. I love the Super C is my favorite, with the original Contra being a close second. Rogue Core is terrible. I've heard not good things. There are a few people that have told me they like it, but most people say it's terrible. Definitely some cool looking dragons and enemies in there. The soundtrack always stood out. Most to me, Zergling says. Which ones have you beaten so far? I've beaten four of them. I've beaten Contra, Super C, Operation C, and Contra 3. So I've got a lot of work to do. I've been working my way. Part of the thing is I've been working my way through them really slowly though, because with most of them I've been stopping to do challenge runs, right? Because like Contra, Super C, and Operation C, I've done each of those no death runs, and the first two, Super C and Contra, I've done no death itemless and no death 100% items as well. So like spending time to do challenge runs before moving on really slows me down. uh, I actually recommended another streamer buys a physical copy of Gunsmoke or Dragon Spirit if he finds them. Right on. Yeah, Dragon Spirit. I'll have to really play at some point. It's not something, even though I have it, it's not something that's really been on my mind for a long time. But I'm always, I'm frequently I'm saying that I need to do more shmups. It's a genre that I think I could really have some fun with if I put the time in to find ones I like and get good at them, because I like Gunsmoke so much. I think Dragon Spirit would be good for me for the same reasons of the aesthetics will probably draw me in. But we'll see. That'll be a down the line thing. Can't do all the things all the time. He says he leans away from the sci-fi aesthetic directly after stating he wants to beat every Contra in one stream. Doesn't get much more sci-fi than Contra. It helps that Contra has a fair bit of horror mixed in, right? It's got a lot of sort of like disgusting hives and monstrous enemies, like. And I don't, I don't dislike sci-fi. I just don't prefer it. I don't really seek it out. This peanut boss. Right there he was. I know we're not quite up to him yet, but I'm already dreading him. No! It's a one-hit kill to walk into that thing by accident. Everything's a one-hit kill. Why did they give you a health bar? Like, I'm fine with Contra stuff being a one-hit kill. That's how the way Contra games are, but don't lure me in with a health bar and then make it pointless half a level in. That's all I'm saying. You make up your mind and the indecisiveness is at my expense. See, I didn't want to be using that weapon I was using, but I didn't want to lose the laser. I was pretty sure I was gonna lose the laser if I switched to it, so I made the right decision. Well, I lost the laser. It's like a Dragon's Lair on NES, everything one-shots you despite the health bar. It's rude, is what it is. Not everyone can walk into the giant cannon of doom right away. I mean, that's all I can see. I don't know what this boss is supposed to be, if not a peanut. All I see is a peanut. I hope I can survive one more lava eruption. Good. Go, go, go! My lack of patience has been my downfall. We're doing good. There's a lot of them coming for me. I am amazed I didn't die. Amazed. The music turn off for dramatic effect. Looks like a peanut to me, yeah. I know a peanut when I see one. The Dragon's Lair health bar should just be the word yes. Looks like a poorly UV mapped chrysalis texture to me. Now this is a Contra boss. You just stand in one place and spam your attack. Now we're playing Contra. Most people probably already know this, but if you're like me and you love Super C, and you want to play Super C with challenging bosses, you should play Super Cyborg. It's a Super C clone that has pretty tough bosses. It's a lot of fun. I've only played through it once. It's definitely one that I need to do more of. Oh. Oh no, I didn't know he had that attack. Oh, I'm still alive though. For now. think that's it. Yeah, I know. It's a boss rush. It's a first stage 1 boss rush. Is everyone hyped for the Metroid Prime remaster? Hafnir asks. It looks so good. I've yet to play the original Metroid Prime. So I think it's pretty nice, you know, that they're doing another one. But I can't claim to have the same level of excitement. Okay, I think I'm just gonna go and get rid of some of these older save files. I'll just start overwriting them. I do want to create save files because this game is so buggy. I could run into a soft lock or something like that. Even though I don't really want to beat it by having to reload one. If we do get soft locked, it'd be nice to have it. I was until I confirmed it wasn't for PC, because of course Nintendo never releases to PC. Of course they don't. As long as Nintendo has hardware, they're not going to make PC game. They're not going to do PC releases. Gonna be getting on Thursday, Greg says. Whoop. Oh, here we go. I hope that's not an enemy. Yeah. All right, now we're in for a treat. Some early 3D gameplay. This is what we needed. 3-dimensional Contra. This looks janky. Yeah, it is. I softlocked myself once playing Lion King for DOS. Oh, no. I don't know what's worse, that you softlocked yourself or that you were playing Lion King for DOS. I don't know what hurts more. Seen the Prime, quote, remaster look the same as the Wii version, running in Dolphin with the internal resolution boosted to 1080p. That's remaster with air quotes around it. I kind of think the Prime remaster is just another in Nintendo's infinite list of excuses not to make Metroid Prime 4. I think Nintendo's really upset that that Dread did well. I think Nintendo was hoping that Metroid Dread would do terribly, so they say, well, we've canceled Metroid Prime 4 because there was no interest in Dread. And then it did well, and now like, oh, now we have to make a Metroid Prime 4. Wait, let's release a remaster of Metroid Prime 1, and when no one buys it because we didn't update it enough, then we'll say, well, we canceled 4 because the remaster didn't do very well. That's what I think their game plan is. I think they don't want to make a Metroid Prime 4, and so they're trying to create it to manufacture an excuse not to make it. Always so cynical, Frownie. Are you of the opinion, Greg, that Nintendo is in the habit of giving people what they want? I would be curious to see your evidence. I welcome Nintendo to prove me wrong. Dread was amazing as well. I loved Metroid Dread. It was fantastic. Nintendo A+ job on Metroid Dread. Well, I say that Nintendo A- job on Metroid Dread. If there were no Adam, then we could talk about A+, but I can't give an A+ to a game in which Adam exists. Alright, let me, found somewhere safe. I'm way behind on the chat here. Worst was the time I beat Lion King for Amiga. It's even worse than the Dalsa, Princess. This is making me nauseous within 15 seconds. Chozo Brain likes the look of the remaster. Greg says, doesn't matter how it looks, just glad it got re-released. In Dolphin, you can use the mouse to aim in Metroid Prime. So I don't think that that's probably a selling point for Greg. I think that he's of the same opinion that I am, where I don't care to play with a mouse. I'm a controller all the time. That's not a drawback to me. The remaster has some new textures and different lighting. Looks great. Hope they do 2 and 3. If only we could get a new F-Zero. I got a bail. I can't handle this sort of 3D gaming, Zergling says. It gives me a migraine. Good luck on clearing the rest of this, Frownie. Thank you, Zergling. I appreciate you being here. Sorry the game is unbearable to look at. But your company's been very much appreciated. Have a good weekend. I usually don't stream on Saturdays or Sundays. Sometimes on Sunday, but it's very rare. But hopefully I'll see you next week. I hope you're well until we see one another again. If they were Wind Waker and Twilight Princess HD, would be on the Switch too. Yeah. It's weird because Nintendo, on the one hand, Nintendo loves to charge us full price all over again for re-releases of their older games. On the other hand, they hate re-releasing their older games. So it's like, I don't know. I don't understand. I don't understand what their philosophy is that leads them to have both of those. It's like there's some internal struggle going on in the mind of Nintendo. Need dead to bed, Zinshan says. Take care, Frownie. Good luck with Contra. Thank you for the good luck wishes. Thank you for the raid, Zinshan. I hope Final Fantasy X-2 continues to treat you well. And I look forward to seeing you again, my friend. Have a great weekend. Adam? Adam. The Metroid's Adam is Samus's boss. He talks at her all the time. In Metroid Dread, every time you go into a new room, you get stopped and locked in place, and you have to have Adam lecture you for like 3 minutes before you get to play again. It's the worst part of the game. That's why I don't like Fusion, is because you get locked in rooms and you gotta talk to the computer for hours and hours before you get to play again. I like Super Metroid. Right? Samus doesn't need a boss. I like Super Metroid. That's what you don't like about Fusion? Yeah, that's what I don't like about Fusion. I like Zero Mission, Ulfrin says. I enjoyed Zero Mission to an extent. I have a real bad time with that. I had a real bad time with that stealth section at the end. I know a lot of people love that part, but I hated that part. I will admit, it could have been user error that made it so bad for me, but I like Zero Mission. It's kind of linear. It's really linear, especially at first, but it was also the first Metroid game I played, so it didn't bother me as much. It being linear, I kind of felt like that's what I needed, in fact. That's a landmine? That's a landmine. I thought that was a switch. I was going to walk on it. Very first Metroid is Metroid 2, Dartomic says. Oh, hang on. I need to find somewhere safe to stand. We have another raid coming in. I got to welcome everybody. I've been doing a lot of standing around in this game. Big Evil, thank you for the raid. Welcome to you and to your friends. Well, this is not a safe place to stand. Alright, I'll just pause the game so we can chat here. The stealth section is great. Yeah, I wasn't a fan of it, but you know, we can't all like all the same things, right? Go ahead and tell us about your stream, Big Evil. What were you playing, and how did you like it? Hogwarts Legacy. How is that treating you? I've only played one Harry Potter game. It was interesting and kind of fun, and then it became brutally difficult. I'm not sure it's as much linear as it is a bit more straightforward in what you're supposed to do. Yeah, I mean, I think, well, I kind of think all Metroid games are, well, from what I understand, most of them are like that. If you know the game better, you can, if you can sequence break and stuff like that. But you know, compared to Super Metroid, Zero Mission does flat out show you where to go and what to do in a way that Super Metroid does not. And I prefer the Super Metroid approach myself. Zero Mission's a bit handholdy in my opinion, but okay game, Greg says. Yeah, but it lets off. I think it lets off that after you get going for a while. I think it does get better in that regard. Who does understand Nintendo's business ideas? Who knows? I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, they're a lot more successful in business than I am, so they don't need me to tell them what to do. I just want them to give me more of the games I want. Some Metroidvanias intentionally do stuff to waste your time, though. Like grinding for items with extremely low drop weights. Yeah, they'll do that. Or hiding progression between areas you couldn't possibly know aren't there without a guide. They can be evil. They can be evil. All right. I think this is the way to make progress. Yeah, this is probably the way to make progress. There's a big enemy down here. Oh, with grenades. How much health does this guy have? Come on. I mean, I know it's a tank, but I shot it an awful lot. I think in general, I would prefer that a game be more I think in general, I would prefer that a game be too obtuse than to be too obvious myself, though. I get less annoyed with a game when I'm playing it and I don't know where to go than I do when I'm playing a game and it keeps telling me stuff I already know. Or, you know, telling me what to do next all the time. I'm okay. Like if I get terribly lost for a while, I don't know what to do. And I have to try a bunch of boneheaded ideas before I ever make progress. I'm okay with that. I don't ever want a game to be too obvious. Well, gonna take this level from the top. No, it changed me to the weapon I wanted. And then I pushed the button as if it hadn't and changed away from what I wanted. Powerful moment of confusion there. Alright, so we've used 1 credit. We've got 4 left. That's the way I came in. It's kind of difficult to tell, like, what the path through this level is because the graphics, like, stuff all looks kind of the same. Invincibility. Kind of wasting it, but I'm getting health. That's even better. I don't actually remember the part you're referring to in Super Metroid, but I'm sure I got stuck by it. It's been so long since I played it that the details of it are pretty vague to me. I don't mind the, you know, shoot every part of the wall, bomb every piece of floor sort of attitude of the older Metroid games as much as I mind it in Zelda. Like the blow up every wall, burn every bush thing. I'm not saying it's great. I'm not saying that, you know, that I necessarily like that you have to do that in Metroid, but I could tolerate it a lot more in Metroid than I can in Zelda, because at least with Metroid, it's the overall action is fast-paced, and it's easy to run those checks. Like with Zelda, your bombs are a limited item that have to be replenished, and if I remember right, your candlestick you can only use once per screen, so every time you check a bush, you've got to reset the screen, and like that is just tedium upon tedium, where it's so much more painful. You know, your resources for checking everything in Metroid, at least they're infinite. And the action in general is fast-paced. This is a disgusting-looking game. It's kind of charming. It is, isn't it? If you can stand to look at it, it kind of grows on you, I think. Oh, thank goodness, some homing missiles. Well, you may be just built of different stuff than some of us, Greg. It depends on which bush we're talking about. One of the bush with the bush with the bush with the dungeon under it, I actually do think is pretty fair because it's the only one there, and so I think that the idea for that bush is that they're expecting that you're gonna go through that area later on, and you're gonna want to be lazy and burn that bush to create a shortcut so that you can walk across that area instead of having to go around, and you'll find it's how you're supposed to find that. I think the thought was that players would get lazy and try and burn that bush to create a shortcut and find the dungeon. So I think that one's good. But like, there's one of the bushes with a heart piece under it that you're not supposed to find unless you're just a madman who wants to burn down the entire game. I think I might have stumbled onto that entrance at random doing exactly what you said. I think that's the way that one's designed. But a lot of the other ones I do think are there to waste your time. I do you know, they're hidden there so that people who want to sink all the time in can find them. But only those people. I get why people don't like unmarked secret passages, but I also think plenty of games go too far in the other direction. Wall is marked in some ways. Is it really that secret? Yeah, so see, that's the thing. I think that Zelda 1 is too obtuse, but I think A Link to the Past is too obvious. Is what I would say. Oh, I think that this guy might be immune to fire because he's a water snake. No, I hurt him a little bit, but only a little. I don't really remember how to fight this guy. Oh, this is doing okay. When in doubt, just run in a circle and shoot. I beat it a little over a year ago, so I have no reason to ever play it again anyway. Zelda 2 I might actually play again sometime, though, because I like the combat. I like Zelda 2 a lot. I like Zelda 2 more than Zelda 1 myself. I think Zelda 1 is the better made game. Overall, probably. But I like Zelda 2 more myself. I do like the combat. The thing is, I think Zelda 2's combat is fun by accident. Because if you're talking about you like the combat and you play it the same way I do, where you jump slash everything, or where you jump and attack everything, I don't think they really. I mean, they didn't intend you to fight enemies that way. But I enjoy it anyway. I like the rhythm of like run away, jump back, and stab the sword at the top of the guy's face. I like the rhythm of that. Like, the way that wants you to do it, where you, like, use the shield. I don't play it like that. Xanadu is good. I really like that game. You had Xanadu and Dragon Spirit as a kid? I don't think I even knew that either of them existed when I was a kid. Greg had Xanadu not quite as a kid, but, you know, early on in its release. I find Zelda 2's standing and ducking while hitting combat a little frustrating. Let me try and run somewhere safe over here so I can keep reading. A little frustrating. I think Castlevania does that better. Well, yeah, I like the, alright, I like the intended combat of Castlevania better than the intended combat of Zelda 2, for sure. I mean, I like Castlevania more than Zelda 2 overall. I'm backtracking now. Welcome to the stream, and thanks for the follow. I'm not exactly sure where one word ends and one word begins. I think that this looks like a Dust Yeet Gang, though. I certainly welcome correction if I blundered that, and if there's a slightly more condensed version of your handle that you go by. I welcome education. I hope you're having a fantastic evening, though, and I appreciate you joining with us. Fester's Quest, Snoopy Sports Game, Time Lord, one of the Rad Racer games, Gunsmoke, World Cup Volleyball, Mario 1 and Duck Hunt. I think if you're listing there the games you had as a kid, Mario 1 is the only one that overlaps for me. I did play Gunsmoke as a kid. My cousin owned it, and I would play it with him, but I didn't ever have it myself. And the others, I don't think I've ever even played. Rad Racer. I've played a little bit of Rad Racer at some point, I think. But as an adult, after buying a copy for myself, I tried it out one time. Really like Castlevania 3, but not sure where you put it in the NES ranking. Castlevania 3, I've got to spend more time with. I've only done one playthrough, so I don't know it super well. I did really enjoy it, and I think it has potential for me to like it even more than the original. Maybe, but I've got to spend a lot more time with it. I got to get the other endings, and I got to learn the stages. I can't really grade it accurately. Dean's Rule says to me, "You sir are wrong. It's pronounced like something." Well, I've done my best. I'm well aware that my best is at times insufficient. I'm jumping, like, into the shockwave rather than over it. No, I lost a life. There, I think we can just tank the rest of the damage. Maybe we can't. Wow, I'm bad at this game. That is for sure. Mario 1 was a pack-in, so everyone with the NES had that one. I mean, pretty much everyone, except, unless you got an NES really early. You know, you might have got the Rob pack instead. Or if, you bought your NES secondhand, you might have missed out. Or I guess if you bought it really late, right? It probably came with they probably did a bundle with Mario 3 later on, right? But your point, you know, you make a good point. It is only under special circumstances that you typically have an NES without Mario 1. You have to use the start button on the menus. I couldn't figure it out. I'm pressing all the face buttons thinking, what? Nothing does anything. Okay, just keep saving over top. Cool feature Rad Racer 2 is the ability to turn off the in-game music and just have the sound effects. So I like to do that while playing my own music and enjoy the drive. Nice. Has been a while, Dean's Rule. I've been doing all right though. I don't know if you come by since I kind of rearranged things down here, and I kind of like showing off what we've done. But now I hang out on a couch. I've got some plushies. I've got some blankets. I'm in full comfy mode while playing now, so my streams can stretch on all night long, and I'm in no risk of becoming tired or sore. Getting this couch down the stairs was a nightmare. This couch did not want to fit down my stairwell. It was a nightmare. But I've got no complaints. Life is treating me well. I hope things have been good for you. Beat Castlevania 3 on hard mode with a max controller once as well. Don't feel like there's much more in it left for me to do. I mean, there's always you can always get really creative with your challenges and be like some of those people out there and beat it with a Guitar Hero controller. There's always a new game, a new way. If you're willing to incorporate really bogus challenges, there's always ways to put new life in a game. Whether or not you'll have fun doing it might be a different question. Never been that good at Zelda 2, Greg says. BRB, we'll see you shortly, Greg. We should still be here. And hey, we have another raid coming in. Yaden, pleasure to have you. How are you tonight, my friend? What were you getting up to? Tell us all about your stream, my friend. I'll attempt to properly type a couple of shout-outs here so our friends can... hopefully give you a follow. Dead Space, the new Dead Space, I would guess, right? More Dead Space remake, halfway through, reach chapter 6. Right on. We are on stage 3 of the Contra adventure. It has been just pulverizing me tonight. I struggled. I had to try stage 1 like 10 times before I made it through the first stage. I got a game over on stage 2. I don't know if we're going to see this adventure all the way through to the end. I'm going to keep going, as long as we've got continues. I'm going to take it as far as I can, but this is going to be an ongoing project trying to beat this game. It's good stuff. Don't do the non-retro thing often, but was excited about this one. The Dead Space games are something I want to play. I think I actually have all 3 of them on the PlayStation 3. I've got a stack of PlayStation 3 games like this tall. It's not a whole lot, but I was buying them because I didn't even have a PlayStation 3, but I worked in a used media store, and with my employee discount, we had a lot of PlayStation 3 games coming through, and I was like, you know what? I can pick these up real cheap. I should pick up these games while I have a chance and get a PlayStation 3 and have some fun with them. And I bought I bought a handful of PlayStation 3 games, and the Dead Space games were in there. I bought a PlayStation 3, and then very shortly after I bought it, my home was burglarized. So I have all these games for it, and I've never played them. But Dead Space is something I would like to do. I think that'd be a lot of fun. Deansrule says, just chill and play now. I dig the new layout. I've been busy with life, getting back into the swing of things. I'm certainly always lucky anytime I can enjoy your company, my friend. This Contra game is it's not terrible. I would say I like it about as much as I like Contra 3. I might, if I get a little better at it, I might even one day like it better than Contra 3. But you have to keep in mind, I don't really like Contra 3 that much. I know some people really like it, like that's their favorite. But like I'm a 8-bit Contra guy. I love Super C. I love Contra 1. The series has gotten pretty rough for me after the first one. I don't, and don't get me wrong, I don't hate Contra 3. If Contra 3 was the only Contra game I ever played, I would sound a lot more positive about it. The biggest issue it has is that I've played Contra games I like better. Contra 3 definitely looks better than this game, though. This game is, it's alright. It's alright, it looks okay for an early 3D game. I don't think it's bad. In fact, it looks really interesting and pretty cool in some areas. But, I mean, Contra 3 is some beautiful 16-bit artwork. What about 3 that you don't like? 3, so my trouble with 3, I love stage 1 of 3. One of my biggest troubles with Contra 3 is that there's not enough, like, I like the run and gun platforming of Contra. And Contra 3 only has, like, 2 stages of that. Right? Stage 1 is run and gun platforming all the way. Stage 2 is top-down gimmick. Stage 3 is half run and gun platforming, half climbing gimmick. Stage 4 is auto-scroller, motorbike gimmick. Stage 5 is top-down gimmick. Stage 6 is half run and gun, half boss rush. So I just, it's a 6-stage game. Only 1/3 of it is the type of gameplay that I want out of a Contra game. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like variety, but not at the expense of what I showed up for. If you order a hamburger and if you order a hamburger and like the beef patty is as thin as the lettuce slice in the hamburger, like you might appreciate that it's got a variety of ingredients, but I think you're going to be pretty upset that the thing you came for is in such small supply. Right? That's how I feel about Contra 3. I feel like Contra 3 is like a really tasty hamburger, but like the beef is as thin as the lettuce. Contra 3 is also difficult to the point of insanity. On normal mode, it's not that bad. Contra 3 on normal mode is a very reasonable challenge. Contra 3 on hard mode, which is required for the true ending. Contra 3 on hard mode is disgusting. Never thought of it that way. Makes sense. I don't believe I've ever played this. Was it before or after Legacy of War? I think this is before Legacy of War, but I don't know. That's a guess. That's just pretty much a pure guess. So yeah, that was meaningless. I haven't played Legacy of War. So I can't compare them yet. So my plan is to play, after I beat this one, someday, after I beat this one, I want to do hardcore on the Genesis, and then I think I want to do the Game Boy Contra 3, and then do Legacy of War is sort of my tentative plan for the order I'm going to approach them in. This guy right here reminds me of Skull Kid from Majora's Mask. The little guy that's jumping back and forth between the things. I can't really get a good look at him, but his general shape makes me think he looks like Skull Kid. Played a little bit of hardcore earlier, testing out a ROM hack. There's probably one of the best ways to breathe new life into a game that you're really familiar with, is to, yeah, track down good ROM hacks. Contra and Zelda in the same universe? Yeah. So, like, earlier I was talking about how Konami stole Ridley from Nintendo. Well, Nintendo stole Skull Kid from Konami. Someone at Konami played Metroid and said, oh, I like this Ridley guy. I'm going to start putting him in my games. And they just kind of stole him. Someone at Nintendo played this and said, well, this game isn't very good, but that one character on that one stage, I'm going to borrow him. You take my Ridley, I take your Skull Kid. That'll show you, Konami. I know this bomb is good for attacking this guy if it lands on him, but there's the rub. I can't aim. I almost got a Ridley tattoo back in the day. Ridley could make for a good one, I think. I've never gotten a tattoo myself. Don't expect I ever will. My sister has some tattoos. My sister is named for a plant, and so she's been getting tattoos, and they're all the same plant. That is her name, but she has the different tattoo artists design them in their own styles. So, you know, all of her tattoos are the same. They're all different. Got 6 between 18 and 21. Planning on being pretty covered. 20 years later, I've yet to get more. Yeah, you guessed it. You guessed it, yeah. My sister is watermelon. I know that this guy can be beaten much faster than I'm doing it, but... If I struggle for speed, I'm just gonna end up getting myself destroyed. I had a lot of beginner's luck with this game, I think, because the very first night we played it, I feel like I did really well and got really far very quickly. And every other time I've attempted it, I have done abysmal. Abysmal. I don't know what it is. I don't know how I became so much worse. I have to watch. I have to watch my own VODs. So I can relearn what I knew before. That looks like a secret area. It looks like I can go in there. Because it's kind of up off the ground, but I, in fact, cannot. I don't have lives to waste. Come on, game. Be nice to me. I backed right into the bullet. Okay, that's invincibility. There are a lot of parts in this game where the game offers you invincibility right before the boss. It's pretty shocking. Not that I made a lot of good use of it this time, but... Stop moving. Yay, we got one. Ah! Even with the skull dead on the left, the missile still comes out when the thing opens. One left. Come on. Can we do it? Victory. Wow. It's like a chain chomp in Zelda. A skull with a long neck shooting fireballs. Did Konami borrow that from one of their other IP? It looks awfully familiar now that you mention it. This makes you want to play Duke Nukem Time to Kill? I don't think I've played that one. Duke Nukem, I played the DOS games a little bit when I was a kid. I don't remember them very well, but I know I remember playing them. The Duke Nukem game I'm most familiar with is 0 Hour. I had that one on the N64, and I liked it quite a bit. That's the only one I've really played. I rented Duke Nukem 3D on the N64. I didn't like it as much. I didn't really understand first-person games very well back then, though. Time to Kill is like 0 Hour. Did you play the one on PlayStation? This has that vibe, kinda, I think. Is Time to Kill the one on the PlayStation? Are both of you referring to the same game, or are they are those different? But no, I haven't played any on the PlayStation. It is. All right. Hey, cool. Yeah, I might like that then. If it's kind of like this. While I'm definitely not very good at this game, I think I could be one day. I think with enough practice, you know, I could adjust to this and start doing well. So I would be curious to play more games like it down the line. Time to Kill might be doable. Hoping to find some health somewhere down there, but it's not meant to be. It's probably much better than this. Probably. This is a pretty rough game. But it has its own charm. So I think all I found down there is bombs, and I don't really use the bombs, so... Speaking of bombs... That jump across the plant is pretty janky. probably going to immediately find a health power-up now. Next row of power-ups. There was not health. See, it's weird. Here's another instance, right? There's this, like, mini-boss here where you fight these 4 guys, but it gives you a invincibility right in the room. Oh, there's more than 4 of them. But still. Like, all the, like, the challenges, the bosses and mini-bosses alike, a lot of them have invincibility right at their start. I assume that that's not there on that those are not there on hard difficulty. I think it's a normal mode kind of thing, but you would expect it to be an easy mode thing. Health. Yes, please. Bombs everywhere. I'm maxed out. Oh, I remember this part. I forgot about this boss. I thought that was the end of the stage. I think this guy was easy. I feel like there was a candy that I had as a kid that was decorated to look like an eyeball. I think it was a bubble gum that looked like an eyeball, and I think it looked like this. I didn't know what that laser was. It's like, why is it drawing red lines on the screen all of a sudden? Hey, we got another cutscene. Been a while. All right. Onward into the alien lair. Ah! No, I didn't want to open up those goodies too early and have them despawn. I think that's what's about to happen to me. This platforming. Hey, we got it. Oops. There's a button, like you can use the shoulder buttons to aim up and down for enemies like that, but if you just kind of jump, your auto-aim takes over, and that's a lot easier for me. Using the shoulder buttons it's kind of difficult for my brain to manage so many buttons at one time. I can't get the auto aim to start working again now that I messed with the... There we go. Auto lock. Aim assist, whatever it's called. That thing went crazy with the arrows. So there was this an optional path? I don't understand. Health, just what I needed. A spread shot, I'm happy about that too. One up. I don't know how to open that. Might not be something that opens either. It didn't look like there was anything in there. So many bats. Can I make this jump? That doesn't look doable. Oh my goodness. No, I'm always replacing weapons I don't really mean to. Alright, well, fire room, fire gun. This is the level that we soft locked on once. Part of the level geometry never spawned, and I fell through into an old area. Oh, this platforming. This is really rough. I've done okay so far, but it doesn't feel good. No! Just the one part gave me difficulty. Hey, they were nice enough to give us health right at the end, though. Look at that. Thought maybe I overlooked something. I think this is a mini boss room, actually. Well, he doesn't stand a chance against that weapon. There's an invincibility in the boss arena. It didn't do me any good. I spent all of my time invincible not fighting the boss, but... Wow, this weapon demolishes them. Maybe that's why I had an easier time the first time I played this. Maybe I picked up the weapon that I just used and never stopped using it and just plowed through all the enemies. Try and leave that health there and come back for it. Think that items like that don't despawn. Never mind, we'll pick up this health and we'll leave that other one because it's closer to the way we're going. Get back up there. I better get back up there. Better get that health. I don't know where all my health went, but I need it back. There we go. There's the switch. Music's having a hard time again. No. What a bad jump. I'm supposed to go down here? Yeah. Invincibility? Does that mean there's a boss coming up? It does. There's a boss in there, but there's also something right here that I want to... Nope, I don't want that. I can't run him back and forth fast enough between sides to get this guy to... Let me attack without his arm in the way. Doesn't matter when you have these missiles. What's he doing? He's only vulnerable if you hit him in the face, I think. I don't think if you hit him from behind that it works. My homing missiles. Are really good at sailing right past him. What on earth is this enemy? He's... He's dead. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. manufacturing facility. I think we've still got like 4 or 5 levels left. It's a big game. I think there's this, there's an elevator stage, there's another behind the back stage, there's another run and gun stage. I think there's one other one that I'm forgetting about. Help ourselves to this secret laser. Okay. That's a narrow walkway. Or I guess a narrow jumpway, rather. Okay, I did get the item. One up. Don't mind if I do. Health, please? No, no health? I don't think that guy's gonna make it. Invincibility, it must be boss time. Looks like I've got 2 options. That looks like progress. So let's look over here for another hidden treasure. Oh, yuck. They both, I think, lead to the same place, but this option hits you with an enemy and then gave you a bomb. Yeah, this is the same room. We're just up a little higher. I feel like, and this might be in my head, I might be lying to myself, but I feel like the longer we've played, like the more I've adjusted to the game, and I feel like I am playing slightly better than I had been before. I'm still not playing well, but the game is just getting a lot easier in general. But I feel like I'm getting a better grip on like how to look around and how the logic of the levels layouts work. That's a 1-up. After I said all that about doing better, I came in here and it just immediately got torn apart. The strafe button in this game is mandatory. If you, for some reason, you don't like to strafe, you will not like this game. Yeah. One up. I think I saw the switches on the roof. Yep, it sure was. This wall looks like breakable. I don't think I've ever seen a breakable wall in the game. But if there was one, it would be that one. Just based on aesthetics alone. Oh, yuck. It was just the right distance that a sidestep. That's like a mini boss. We don't have to go down there right away, though. Oh! Health? Health! Alright, well, if that's a mini boss, there's gotta be an invincibility around here, right? I'm not seeing one. Well, I'm glad I wasn't standing next to that guy when he blew up. Oh. what's going on over here? I think that's just a sneak peek window. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we were on the other side of that window earlier. That is just like a preview window. Ooh, what? Hey, this is a room in Super C. Kind of. Just pass through instead of standing around fighting them all, but... Invincibility. And it's gone. Oh, so is that weapon I was using. That's a shame. I was enjoying that. Frownie heading to bed. Great to see you. Good luck with the rest of this one. Thank you, Yaden. I appreciate that. I hope you have a great weekend. Thank you for the raid. And sleep well, my friend. We'll see you another time. Sure if I missed out on something back there before or not. I can't tell if I'm going the right way. More invincibility. It's everywhere. I mean, yeah, you do have to kind of look around for it, but it also didn't make it that hard to find. Oh, and here's the boss. Oh no. Oh no, the other boss, this is the boss. I thought the other boss was this boss. This one is hard. Never, well, he will be. I'm the worst at jumping. Yeah, so I like this boss. This boss is clever, right? He builds little robots, so we destroy the little robots so we distract him because he can't help himself. He's got to build more. If we break his little robots, he's got to build more. And then that's our opportunity to hit him in the face. It's a great. It's a very cute idea. Victory. All right, my friends. You know what? Um, I think that we might wrap things up here for the night. I'm sorry to do it to you, but I'm kind of running out of steam. Then we've got quite a few more levels to go, at least 3 more, and they're pretty brutal. But we've got a save file, and so I think we should use that as an excuse to kind of call it a night. I think that's better than carrying on when I'm starting to when I'm starting to fade. I mean, we've gone for 6 hours. That's quite a while. Maybe not a record-setting long stream, but it's been a good long time. This game is getting more fun. It's getting more fun the longer I play it here. Um, excuse me. I think as I adjust to it more, I don't think that this run, even when we pick this back up, I don't think that this run is going to go the distance for us. But we will continue it. We will continue it either way. We'll pick this up again next week, sometime. I'm not sure which day. We'll put it on maybe Wednesday or Friday, depending on how the Minish Cap goes. I would say expect this maybe next Friday or maybe next Wednesday. But I'll post the schedule in the Discord like always, and so we'll be able to see. You'll be able to see if you're there. And I think I'll send us over in Shadow's direction. Shadow Archon. He's playing some kind of Turtles game. I think maybe it's that newer one, or maybe it's a hack. I don't know. Looks like a Turtles game though. I just don't recognize it. But Shadow does lots of retro stuff. He does lots of jank stuff. He does challenge runs. It's a good time over there. So that'll be a good place for us to unwind tonight. See you next stream whenever that is. Thank you, Greg. So I usually don't stream on Saturdays or Sundays. There's a slim chance I could show up Sunday night. Monday should be at the latest. Have a great weekend, my friends. Thank you for being here. As always, I really appreciate your company. I hope you're well until I get to see you again next week. Look for me starting up on weeknights, Central Time, 11 p.m., plus or minus 30 minutes. Is when we aim to start. You're going to see a lot of Battletoads as I try to complete that for the very first time. You're going to see more Minish Cap. You're going to see more Dark Souls, and we're making progress in Dark Souls. So it's not only is it not only is it fun, but we're back on track to making progress there. So that's good. Yeah, and more Contra in the mix as well. And who knows, maybe some other stuff. I've been really thinking about playing more of that 50 video games included plug and play. So I might just have to throw that on one night too. But be well, everybody. We're all out of stream for tonight, so it's time to head out. Let's go on an adventure.